Well, good evening, friends and followers. Happy Sunday. I hope you had a good day. My day went pretty well. Tied up a few loose ends here at the house. Finished getting my dirt bike back together. I actually just came in from riding it around for about a half an hour. It felt good because I hadn't ridden since October 10th when a truck pulled out in front of me. So I finally did the fixes and upgrades that I needed to do. Past that, changed the oil, got it ready to go for the season. So, just rode that around for about a half hour. That was fun, so that put me in a good mood. Meanwhile, I've got one more tube of PEX that I need to finish connecting to our manifold. So I thought I would show you guys how to do that real quick, because it's pretty easy and it's the last one. So I've got it figured out, and before it's too late, I thought I'd show you how. This is called the MANABLOCK. It is a manifold for our PEX, our water supply in the house. Hot water comes in one side, cold water comes in the other, and then each one of these legs goes out to each fixture or faucet or shower or hose fixture. So each thing can be turned off individually because each one of these has a valve, which is pretty nice. It's very similar to an electrical panel. So each one has its own circuit. And it looks really nice. It's easy to control. There's a lot less fittings and joints behind the walls because fittings and joints are often points where you could get a leak. So there's less chance of that running this as well. And the benefits of a home run system is that you also don't get that pressure difference or the scalding shower when somebody flushes the toilet kind of deal. Or a load of laundry is running and your pressure won't be weak as you wash your hands. So that's some of the benefits of home run system, is that it's pressure balanced, they call it. So in order to set the length correctly, I have it coming in and I stapled it at the top, and then I kind of hold it tight roughly where it's going to go. I'm going to tuck this behind, but right now it's still attached to the spool here. So before I cut that off, I want to hold it and make sure I get it in the right spot. Then I get an elbow. These elbows have a little tang on it, so you could then screw it down nice and tight. However, I find they're in my way because all of these are off, and if I screwed that down, it would put pressure on all these joints because it's like an inch off the back of the board. So I just take a pair of tin snips or plastic shears, whatever, snip that off, and then I snap that onto the line here and hold that roughly where I want it. So I want it to be about the same length of this one here at the end, get it close, and then I hold it and I wrap the tube into the bend so it doesn't kink, and that keeps it nice and smooth. And it's not a joint, it's not an elbow where you'll get more restriction, it's just a sweep, a bend. The next thing I do is I cut it to length, so I hold it like this, overlap where it comes out here, make sure I position this right where I want it so I can line it up visually. Take my snippers, open them up, that's about where I want it. Come in here, make a mark or visually see where on the pipe that is. So there's markings on the pipe, so it's between an 8 and a 7. And I just cut that, easy peasy. Sometimes it squishes the end, so I kind of just give it a quick squeeze to round it out. Before I forget, I want to tuck this down behind underneath them all, like so. Make sure it's the right length by sticking it in the port. It does look good. I cut it a little short up top. Last one, figures. See, I don't have this arc quite right. If it was a little bit longer, then it would be up there, and it would just aesthetically look a tad better. But I didn't, so that's what I get for shooting on camera, I guess. You know, you lose perfection. Anyways, there's 4 components to attach this to the manifold. first you put on the nut, okay? Nut goes on, then you push this retaining ring on there. There's another name for it, I can't think of it right now, sorry. Put that on. Then you got the ferrule, remembered that name. That goes on there. And then you've got this little metal stiffener that goes in the end. So this, when it tightens up, it pushes against the ferrule, which will push inside the edge of the port here. So put that in the port, slide these plastic pieces over closer. So I'm putting pressure in, making sure it's nice and tight. I get this nut started with my fingers. It's just plastic on plastic. You don't want to overdo it. Plastic nut, plastic port, threads, plastic ferrule inside. You got to be gentle. You don't want to overdo it. And then I've got this fancy wrench that comes in. It goes over the pipe and then onto the nut. And you can take that and tighten it up. And while you're tightening that up, again, like I said, you don't want to overdo it. So you go just until you see that white collar start to come out the back of the nut. You can feel it gets pretty snug after you do 15 or 20, after you do 2 of these, you get the feel for it. But so I've got it sticking out just a smidgen. There's nubs on the back side of the nut, so I squeeze it out till it gets to that point. And then this, I'll create a hook or something here, but right now I've got it just sitting up on the edge of my backer board. So there you have it. That's how you install PEX tubing to a MANABLOCK manifold. It's really easy. I used PEX A or Uponor PEX, Pro PEX, some call it that. There's several different names. Next thing I gotta do is turn the water on and make sure there's no leaks. I don't think there will be. I'm pretty confident that this worked well. MANABLOCK also came with these nice labels, pre-printed and everything, so that's pretty slick. And then I've got some masking tape here because they did give me some blanks, but I didn't have a pen with me. So there you have it. That's my water supply system. If you want more videos on this, let me know. This is in the basement. It's easy to access. All the plumbing upstairs will be inside the wall, but Manifold is out to stay and it'll be easy accessible, which is why I also painted the backer board, which is just it's actually a piece of green zip sheathing. There's plenty to hold this on, and then I painted it because it'll look nice in the basement. One more thing I just want to do is shout out to Supply House, which is where I got most of my plumbing supplies. All the PEX comes in a 100-foot roll like this. This is 100 feet. I used 975 feet between 1/2 inch and 3/4, and so it comes in red, it comes in blue, so you can easily tell what needs to be hot, what needs to be cold. They also have great videos like how to use this stuff, explaining the differences between the different types of PEX, the different connections between Pro PEX and crimping PEX and expansion PEX and all that jazz. Really learned a lot from Supply House. If you spend more than $100, they've got free shipping and it'll come the next day. That's really helpful. I would recommend them. They're not sponsoring this, but I'm a satisfied customer, so I thought I would share my good review. They're also really easy to return stuff if you need. I don't think I've worked with the customer support, but their website is really user-friendly. So that's always a plus. So again, supplyhouse.com. I hope you have a good rest of your evening, and until next time, we'll catch you later.